pretty rare that my curiosity is genuinely piqued, kind of as much as it is right now. This is
Cool.
a rare sort of on-air opportunity to get surprised and inspired.
Cool.
I've never taken the time to imagine actually utilizing these things, um, and I think it's worth doing.
I know you're big in cameras.
Hmm.
I know you're because you're big in cameras, and that's the core of who Peak Design is, and it's a core passion of yours, always has been.
Hmm.
You got into phones. We talked about that.
Hmm.
The next cameras are smart glasses. They are here. There's Ray-Ban Metas. They're on your face. Um, they are the best-selling glasses now in lens crafters. This is not yet. This is not a drill. Smart glasses are here. They're coming big. Like Google Glass, that was a drill. Snap spectacles, that was a drill that got us a little serious for one summer, and then the software wasn't really there, and the app ecosystem wasn't there. Ray-Ban Metas, these are crushing it. And I know from the work we're doing that smart glasses are just skyrocketing. You're not in technology if you're not focused on smart glasses. So here's my question for you. Do you have a vision for the ecosystem of kind of you went from SLRs to mobile phone cameras? Cameras on the face are going to start disrupting phone cameras in a certain way. Do you have any thoughts on either smart glasses in general or where the ecosystem of accessories might be? Are you going to start making croquis and stuff like that? Like, what's the ecosystem of accessories look like in smart glasses?
Oh man, Jacob, you're catching me on the back foot here
Okay.
because it had sort of slipped my notice that yeah, this is perhaps a seminal moment where you're seeding an idea that like this is the next thing to think about vis-a-vis photography. However, I don't know, like there's this other side of kind of the ubiquity of cameras everywhere, sort of. I think a lot of like the push toward back toward film and other analog kind of more artistic sides
Right.
of photography is kind of having a resurrection right now. And
Yeah.
I think that's because, you know, 4K resolution is almost the expectation 360, 24/7 365. And it deprioritizes any any sort of creative or artistic aspect of what it means to capture something. And I don't sense that we will. Although a good croquis is a nice product, and that should potentially be considered. I really honestly have not considered it at all, Jacob. And it certainly is worth thinking about because you're right, they are cameras, and if people are headed that way, um, that's interesting. But I don't know. I kind of feel like there's always going to be, or for some time at least, this larger machine that invokes the actual passion and kind of artistry of photography. And I think you'll find us sticking there more.
Okay.
And I think that Peak Designs kind of other avenues that we're going to pursue are more in the outdoors space, the adventure space. Like these are the places where I have always found my personal inspiration. I mean, there's no activity like going hiking in the mountains and setting up camp and experiencing a couple of nights under the stars in the
Yeah.
mountains. Like this is the thing where yeah, more than road biking or cycling or traveling on a motorcycle. This is what generates thought and idea. And so
Yeah.
I'd rather see our products head that direction
Cool.
than the 24/7
Yeah.
filming.
Makes sense. A few things that I would just kind of plant in your brain because
Sure.
first of all, I think go to lens crafters and at least try them on so you get a feel for what they are. But probably buy a pair and give them a try for like if you go to a, a barbecue at someone's house or if you go to like a street festival or something, like wear them and kind of get
Hmm.
the feel for what it's like. One of the things I've found that I think is more in line with the But by the way, I totally buy into what you're saying. Like, actually, the ubiquity creates more demand for the artistry.
Hmm.
I 100%. It's just like we all listen to music on streaming platforms, but when you sit down to listen to music, in a social setting, you're more likely to have records, right? Like, you're more
Yeah.
likely to do it that way. So there's an analog to the camera space to me.
Hmm.
It's like uh coffee is another one. It's like,
Hmm.
if you just need coffee, you take the drip from the 7-Eleven. But if you really want coffee, you spend time with the grinder, you spend time
That's right.
tamping it, and there's romanticism about it. If you have the time, it's much more enjoyable. Or
Hmm.
a nice French press and cowboy coffee when you're on camping trip. It's the best cup of
Yeah.
coffee. Doesn't taste that good, but it's still the best cup of coffee.
That's right.
So all that I believe in. um with the one of the things that I've learned when I'm experimenting with these technologies, because I need to understand my customers, the point of view experience when you're like spending time with your children,
Yeah.
uh, and you don't have to take out your phone to take a picture of them or take a video of them. The connection that it creates for me to just say, I'm not going to say the buzzword because I don't want like 18 things in my office to turn on, but let's just say my AI was called Peter. So I
Yeah.
say, hey Peter, take a video,
Uh-huh.
and that's all you do, and then you're
That's
just like
pretty cool.
throwing your daughter in the air and catching her, and like she doesn't feel like she's performing for anything. Your dad's just wearing sunglasses.
Interesting.
And so that point of view is really phenomenal. I think that's a game changer. I don't stream, I don't go live and stuff like that, so I don't really have an experience with that, but just that point of view and not having to take out a phone when you're playing with your kids is huge. The
You
other
know,
thing I'll
Jacob, this is I have a little bit of goosebumps right now. I'm like I like this is the first time I'm actually encountering another human that I already know kind of tell me about these things other than just kind of like being aware of their
yeah,
existence. And
it,
boy,
it's
what
a we call it race for the face. It is to me, Pete. It has the high likelihood of being tech, the killer disruptor of mobile phones. I don't think it's going to replace them holistically, because I
mhm,
think that they're better in partnership than they are um, one versus the other. I think they're more complementary 5 years from now than they are competing,
mhm,
like how Apple watches are today or Garmin's are today. They serve a very important purpose that your phone can't do on its own, but without the phone, is the watch even that special? So I think you're going to get that from the glasses.
mhm.
But from a first principles perspective, there's no place that the electronics companies want to be other than on your face, because this is where your eyes are, your nose, your mouth,
Yeah.
your ears, and your brain is right here. Why do they want to be on your wrist or in your pocket? They don't. They want to be right here. And there's a
Ha.
convergence of technologies, miniaturization of microphones, speakers, cameras, the ability to charge products without having to have physical ports, wireless power and data, so that you can have truly invisible and beautiful fashion pieces that you wear that don't look like Google Glass, like some weird Star Trek sci-fi. That's where this is going, and what it can do. The opportunities are really limitless at this point. Um, the big tech companies are done, like Meta's put over $30 billion already into this area, including AR and VR. But like this is so immense. The one other thing I'll plug for you, just to
Yeah.
kind of, so one is try it out so that you get a feel for it in case it gives you ideas, because you're such an innovative thinker. You'll figure something out, like what the market needs potentially. I don't think anyone's really thinking about accessories yet because it's so new. So you might have like a breakthrough there, and I'd be happy to brainstorm with you. Um, the other thing I'll tell you that there's a massive need. It perfectly aligns with like where we are and what I understand. Um, Someday these glasses will last 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, and they'll do all the cool stuff.
Mhm.
But today there's a major trade-off for how long they can last and how much cool stuff they can do. And companies need to make a decision. Like, I think Ray-Ban Metas last about 3 hours, when they're being fully utilized for video and for listening to music and talking on the phone and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's really not, it's minimally viable, because you can
Mhm.
take them off, put them in the case, charge it for 20 minutes, get another 30% battery. Okay. It's a
Yeah.
starting point, but we know
Yeah.
technology will keep improving. In the meantime, figuring out a way to have like a croaky
Yeah.
that charges the glasses while they're on so that you don't need to take them off your face to charge.
Yeah.
It's not really there yet. And I could see you guys coming up with something really freaking cool. And we can talk, you know, completely offline at some point about like what that might look like from the glasses perspective, so you can think about what does that mean from an accessory perspective. But I just know there's a need there. If we rewind it all the way to the beginning of the conversation, your first product was because you knew a need that other people also had, but they didn't really know how to articulate or what to do about it. We're in that moment right now with smart glasses. There's going to be a need for on-face charging so people can keep using their glasses on the go. And I think it's just a huge opportunity. So I think it's worth thinking about.
Man, Jacob, that really is. I hear a lot of ideas pitched my way,
Mhm.
because it's pretty rare that my curiosity is genuinely piqued, kind of as much as it is right now. This is
Cool.
a rare sort of on-air opportunity to get surprised and inspired.
Cool.
I do see what you're. I've never taken the time to imagine actually utilizing these things, and I think it's worth doing.